Good? All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, first and foremost. I've never done a live stream to this capacity, especially only with two people, unless I'm the one behind the camera. So this is going to be an interesting one. I have Andrea behind my camera right now, and she's going to switch to camera one just to show you what this is going to look like. So we have camera one, we have camera two, and we have camera three right here. You can see all of our cameras. We're going live right now, and we're just gonna have a little fun for Thanksgiving. For those of you that watched my video last night, I'm gonna be making this duck, and I already seasoned it. If you wanna know how to season it, you can go to the video that's on my YouTube channel and watch the seasoning of this. If you're needing to make a duck tonight, this is a great recipe for you. This is the New York Times recipe. If you don't subscribe to New York Times, you should, because it's good to subscribe to New York Times. They also have really good recipes. So we're gonna start today off by me putting this duck in the oven at 350 degrees. It should take approximately 2 hours. I'm gonna set a timer on for about 45 minutes because the first 45 minutes not that huge of a deal, and then after that I'll set it every half hour to check on it. And it's already sat out of the fridge, so if you let this go overnight, you want to make sure that it goes on the counter for about an hour, and it's been on my counter for about an hour. Basically, the main reason why you want to do that is because if it's in your fridge and it has to tighten up, then you're essentially, like, if it's in your fridge, it cools down, and then once you shove it in somewhere hot, what happens? It contracts a little bit. So what you want to do is not have a duck that is contracting as much. That's why you wait for it to come to room temperature. So for those of you making Thanksgiving duck, or any bird for that matter, try to get it to room temperature as easily as possible. Literally just take it out of the fridge. That's going to be a huge help and change the tenderness of your duck. Now you can see from our duck, we have kind of a messy looking arrangement because I did this at 11 o'clock at night, and I was setting up all the cameras and stressing out about all that stuff. So it's a lot of work. This is something I would normally do with 3 people, but because I only have me and Andrea, it's a lot more stressful and it's a lot of stuff. Partially because I just really like the look of having multiple cameras. I mean, when you get to go like this and then point down and you can see what I'm talking about right here, it changes the experience of the live stream. We're gonna try to do some of these more in the future that'll actually teach you how to cook something, or actually, like, if you're interested, drop me a comment, because what I would like to do is do like my Sunday or Monday food prep, where I make the food that I need for the entire week to have gourmet food for a cheaper price for you to just enjoy for the rest of the week. I mean, I can basically make 3 or 4 dishes in one go and then be done with what I need to do for the week. And then when I come up for the week, it's just really heating up other food. So this is kind of the first thing that I'm trying to do. I'm a very leftover chef oriented kind of guy. But I'm gonna get done talking, because really what we need to do right now is get this duck in the oven. Yeah. If you have questions or anything, pop it a comment on. Hopefully I'll be able to take a look at it. And we're gonna take this guy and we're going to the oven. Should I go top or bottom? I went bottom. Top or bottom? That duck is a bottom duck. Okay, so I'm gonna make some Brussels sprouts while we're doing that. And our Brussels sprouts, and if any of my friends are on, feel free to text message Dre and we'll put you on. We're gonna try to make this an interactive thing where we get to actually chat with people about stuff. I'm gonna switch that. So, we're gonna chop some Brussels. So I'm gonna prepare these Brussels sprouts while I'm making the duck. And then Dre is gonna come in and make a pumpkin cheesecake? Pumpkin cheesecake. She's nodding at me over the head, right over there. Try to get the cool shots, the cool angles. Oh yeah, we got that overhead. Hopefully y'all enjoy this very rough style of Thanksgiving live stream. Once we have Carlo in the house, we'll have this whole thing down and dialed. Much better. Now, I like to cut these in half, but the bigger ones, I'll cut them in quarters because I'm trying to match them a little bit. And you know, one thing about Brussels that I always notice is that they always have this kind of like, this ugly stuff on it that happens. I mean, if you can cut it off, but I don't know. I don't know how much I like some of these because when I get that, I'm like, I want to cut that off. I want to make sure that that dirtiness is not in my actual Brussels sprout.
It's bugs.
It's bugs. It is. I've always thought it was bugs. It's bugs. And I don't mean bunny. That's my dad joke for today. Isn't that what Thanksgiving is all about? Telling as many dad jokes as possible. Let's see how many dad jokes come out today. I've been getting casted as a dad. Oh, only a slight shot to my ego that I'm getting casted as a dad. It's okay. I guess I'm the dad now, the young dad. I'll be the young, hip, cool dad. That's the roles I want to play when I'm having to act. I'll just be young, hip, cool dad, or, you know, a overly single dude, or I mean that's pretty much what my options are, right? Like, guy who's getting older that's still single, or dad. Player, yeah, okay. I've always wanted to play the Asian Alfie. That's the actual role I've always wanted to play it. If I was to do a role, I would do Asian Alfie. See, I'm actually cutting this on camera too. Could have did this before, but no. We have 2 hours of duck, and we have 2 hours of time to kind of hang out. Oh, speaking of 2 hours, Alexa, set a timer for 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
All right, thank you, evil woman. Alexa's evil. But for some reason, I just love her timer. It's like I can use her timer, and that's the best part about Alexa. All right, let's get that. Bugs. Yeah, that one's got a lot of bugs on it.
Who are you cooking for today?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Dre, for that question. Who am I cooking for today? This is Thanksgiving. Now, my mom hasn't been doing the greatest, so we are cooking Thanksgiving and then bringing it over there. Otherwise, she would normally come over here if it was Thanksgiving and it was time for her to cook and eat. But we're going to have Thanksgiving at my sister's house, but we decided that it was a good idea for us to cook here and then bring it over. Why? Because we like to make things harder for ourselves, honestly. That's the real reason why. Because now we have to transport it, and I have to break down all these cameras. So this is going to be a real fun one. I like to do way too many things at once. That's kind of the biggest problem. This is kitchen confessions right here. All my friends that know me well know that I like to put, you know, if I have 4 burners, I like to have 5 of them going. You guys get that one? All right.
Does that count as a dad joke?
That's not a dad joke. That was a good joke. I don't know. I felt like that was an honest joke. All right. Oh, they're so buggy. These are so buggy. So what I actually should have done that I didn't even think about doing until now is cut this onion, because I will need the onion to caramelize while I'm finishing up chopping these. That's one of the things that I really like to do while I'm cooking. So it's okay. I can switch modes. Oh, look, there goes the HDMI cable. That's it. Look at this proper arrangement right here. All right. What's Harry making in the kitchen? Oh yeah, we're gonna make some Brussels sprouts. It's funny because I cook Brussels sprouts for my mother every week. I at least make one batch of Brussels sprouts. She loves Brussels sprouts. You know, and I feel like Brussels sprouts are kind of like the ultimate white person dish because you don't get this in Chinese cuisine. Brussels sprouts are not in Chinese cuisine. All of a sudden, you have this tiny cabbage that you can eat, and Chinese people love cabbage. It's usually Napa cabbage, but now you have this tiny cabbage, and we love cooking this. I'm pretty sure we don't have that negativity that most of my white friends have to Brussels sprouts. I'm not talking about my white foodie friends. I'm talking about like all of white America that voted for Donald Trump. That's the people that don't like Brussels sprouts or any vegetable for that matter. I said it. Trump supporters don't like vegetables. That might be a fact. If he can get away with saying all the things that he says is fact, I can get away with that. Trump supporters don't like vegetables. Okay, so we're gonna let this coconut oil, and if you notice, I put a lot of coconut. Oh, what am I doing? What can you do with coconut oil, guys? You can just, if you have leftover coconut oil, you can always put it on your skin. That's the way I like to do. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Oh yeah, let that coconut oil melt, and then we're gonna put this onion in it once it's ready. I can do both of these. What am I doing? Why did I only do one? I mean, it's not that I think I'm the best cook or a super master chef, but I know how to cook, which is fun. I also really enjoy cooking. You might need another piece of gaff tape on that thing. We're having tape issues today, which is why we were late, because I had to, one of the production things that we got today. You got it? All right, now I'm gonna take these onions, pop this in. See how it didn't sizzle? Wait till it sizzles. That's what you want. You want it to sizzle. I was impatient, and now my onions are not sizzling, which is fine, but certainly, oh, there you go. There's the sizzle. There's the sizzle happening right there. And then we're gonna go a little bit of salt. Just a smidgen of salt in there. And I'm actually gonna do all of the onions because it's nice to caramelize all the onions together. So I have a whole onion in here, and I have 2 Whole Foods bags, 2 of them, of Brussels sprouts because they had those on display so easily. And I was like, yeah, Brussels sprouts, I know those are gonna be a hit. Let's make those. Sweet. Oh yeah, making Brussels bee sprouts. Doesn't this look like a little miniature cabbage, right? Like, anyone else? Miniature cabbage? This one? Love it. All right. Huh. This giant mound of Brussels sprouts in front of me is getting a lot larger. No, this is just all the butt. This is the booty. So yeah, some of the rejects. Definitely some rejects in there. That's the other reason why I'm like, I think I can fit everything in this pan. But I think I hit about half of it. Get this bad boy. Get one of these. These guys are great. I'm a huge fan. Silicone spatula, right? These silicone spatulas are the best. you can scoop out extra oil or sauce or whatever with them. And also you get to, you know, mix it around, and it looks like it's a plastic thing, but it's not a plastic thing. It's super light. It's a pretty color. I mean, my mom's favorite color. Purple. Woo! Feeling that in my eyes. Hello, onions. I wear contacts, so it takes me a second for me to feel it in my eyes. I think it came from the steam of the onions from cooking it. If that happens to you, I really don't have a good suggestion for you. I don't. Wear contacts is my suggestion for you. Too bad. That's my suggestion. Now, have you noticed I got pecans and I got dates? Those are coming in here too. Because after this, I'm going to make a little fried rice. Speaking of fried rice, I need to put that one on. Shoot. I'm not coordinating myself well right now. Okay, 3 cups of water to this guy right here. Oh, you had it. Yeah. This guy, we're not using a rice cooker. We're just using water. Now, measuring it out, I know, very sacrilegious for us Asians. We don't like to measure out rice. Because my strategy for making rice is the exact same strategy that I learned from every single Asian person that's ever taught me how to make rice. Pour it till you go to this digit. But we are not making Asian rice. We're making basmati rice. And because we're making basmati rice, I'm going to follow the directions for once. 3 cups, and the directions came 3.5 cups. Oh my God. See, I get cued because the food stylist is actually behind the camera right now. And this is how low my water filter is. Just look at that. Look at how low that thing is. It's just a trickle because I installed that water filter poorly. You guys that watched that episode of me installing my water filter, I thought I did a good job. But now I can barely get 3 cups of freaking water. Look at this. Still need half. But you know, you can start it. Oh yeah, that's the one that needs. This is how ghetto my kitchen is. I got one that needs, one of these needs this thing. All right, medium. Yeah. All right. Oh. As Andrea points out, and I always say as well, you don't actually need to be a really good chef. Let me tell you the secret about anybody coming over to your house and thinking you're a good chef. Make onions. Just fry up some onions. If you brown onions, your house will smell so good and everyone thinks you're the best chef on the planet. So like make everything beforehand and just brown onions and everyone's like, oh my God, you're such a good cook. Just the onions. That's all it is. Once these guys are a little brown, I'm going to pop the Brussels sprouts on. And unfortunately, I am not chopping very quickly. Partially because I have so many things on my mind at the moment. That's all right. Okay. See this guy? This guy's no good. I'm not into him. Not my fave. It's not my fave. He just looks like he's got some icky stuff on him. We got a lot of these icky stuff kind of guys. Oh yeah.
People are just joining. What are you doing today?
They're just joining and saying, what am I doing today?
I said, if people are just joining.
Oh, got it. All right, guys, if you're just popping in, we are making Thanksgiving duck. My duck has been in the oven probably about half an hour, and I'm going to make duck, fried rice, some dude with a 350Z over here. I'm gonna make duck, fried rice, and these Brussels sprouts on this episode, this very special first time ever live stream Thanksgiving edition, to see what y'all think. Start dumping in these Brussels sprouts in because I'm running out of room. And I usually take out all the extra leaves as much as possible so that way they're not just kind of in there, but it's totally fine for them to be in too. All right, so we got a round of Brussels sprouts going. Why did I put the Brussels in immediately? Because they take a while to cook, and we're just doing stovetop because our oven is roasting our duck. So that's why I chose for the stovetop option. We also got a pot of rice going. We starting our rice pilaf or the rice salad. I said fried rice before, but then I realized I'm not actually gonna. The only difference between that, by the way, is that with a pilaf or like a salad style rice, which is why Andrea and I got into debate on whether or not this was a salad or a fried rice. And I was like, how is it as a rice dish ever a salad? And now I understand, because if you don't fry it, it becomes more of a tossed, cold, warm dish. Did that make any sense? Hopefully it did. You do gotta salt this too. Everything that hits the pan, you want to throw a little salt in. Just because it cooks the food differently if you don't have salt, and it cooks it slower. Yeah, I think we can fit these in this guy. Oh, I got another flying Brussels. Once I'm done with the Brussels sprouts, Dre is gonna come over here and she's gonna make a cheesecake. She decided she wanted to put extra stress onto her. She has not done this cheesecake before. This is gonna be interesting. Usually, I'm the one that's slightly disheveled in the kitchen. This time, she might be slightly disheveled in the kitchen. We'll see what happens. We're gonna do a switcheroo and someone's gonna give you a real lesson. For those of you that might be interested on actual cooking class, my partner Andrea is doing a cooking class, and part of why this setup is so good is I film her cooking class live. We do a live stream where I'm the one behind the camera because somehow, because of growing up in a family in the entertainment industry, I really like being in front of the camera too. So I'm like, I need both of these things. But for those of you that don't know, I have a love of filming. That's just like been a love and passion of mine. Maybe I haven't shared that with you in specific, but things like Day of Gluttony were things that I directed and created, and the very first Day of Gluttony I shot. Bruce and I shot each other. So that's kind of how we do these things. But when I get to concentrate and just be behind the camera, life is so much easier. But in this case, I'm slightly directing while I'm cooking with you guys, and I'm also the live stream expert on site. So it's full on. So hopefully you guys are enjoying. I have like, there's like one person actually watching right now. They're like, oh, okay, we're done. 5 people watching. Hey guys, appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you're enjoying how I cook. Very unplanned. But I can cook. I just can't necessarily do everything at once. Was there a question? Huh? No. And I didn't forget about my rice. Boom! The one thing with rice is lid. The one thing with rice, I like to throw a little salt in, and also a teensy bit of olive oil is a good idea for rice too. That's how I was taught to make it. Where is the, oh, here it is. Mismanaging stuff. Okay. So, one of the things about these Brussels that I'm gonna really enjoy, oh, I need a cider. Where did that cider go? Uh-huh. No, I can't do stock. My mom's gonna eat it. She's vegetarian. Okay. If you guys don't have stock, one of the secrets to my cooking, at least, maybe it'll rub off on all you guys, I'm gluten-free. In case you didn't know, I can run multiple different things being gluten-free. One of the secrets of being gluten-free, if you need to add water or some sort of liquid, don't add water. That's boring. Cider. Oh yeah. And it also smells really nice too. Woo! Just exfoliating my face with Brussels sprouts. This is gonna be great. All right, cool. So, next thing that we need to do, can you get me a bag? There's no way this is gonna fit in my tiny compost bin. Is clean up. Thank you. One good thing about being in San Francisco that I absolutely love is that we compost so many things. Why the rest of the world does not compost, I have no freaking understanding of why. If you are watching and your city or country or region composts, tell me about it. I want to know who else is composting out there. If you have no idea and the word compost is foreign to you, also tell me. I'm curious as to who knows about composting. Okay, cool. So this guy's gonna keep going. I'm gonna put some dates in it now. Yep, you heard me, dates. Hit the start button to let that start again. What's the best way to pit these? The way I'm doing it? Just hit the middle. The one problem is that I gotta pit these dates. And pitting dates is not easy. Happy Thanksgiving, EJ. Huh? BJ. Oh, sorry. Happy Thanksgiving, BJ. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. If you're just joining in, we're making a duck, the New York Times recipe duck. It's the recipe that I have done, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 times now. It always turns out really well. One of the main reasons why I like duck is that it's way more forgiving than turkey because it has a bigger fat content. You know, turkey's kind of a boring bird. So I'm actually really glad that we're making duck instead of turkey. Usually I still make a turkey during Thanksgiving, and then I used to make the duck I usually make the duck for Christmas. Or just Chinese New Year. That's right. I've made the duck for Christmas, for Chinese New Year. So for those of you watching this, especially the edited version, when I recut this to show you guys how to make duck, you can make duck for Chinese New Year too. Okay. Should we chop this, you think? Yeah. Do a little chop on these. I'm gonna do all of these. Huh? Rice down. It was on medium. Is this supposed to be low? Yeah. Okay. Almost done with this dish. Then it's going to be Dre's turn to be on camera, and she's got to be on. You ready, Dre? All right. Almost done. These are some really hard dates. Don't forget to mix this around. And I believe the temperature that you want a fowl to be at is about 165. But what I like to do is take out the bird a little bit before 165. So I would say, what, 160 roughly? Because the temperature still goes up and it's duck. So you don't want to overcook that, especially if it was turkey. You definitely don't want to over. Is this an easier date? Is that you're flying in dates? We're flying in dates from the stands. Here we go. We got different kinds of dates. I'm all for different kinds of dates. You don't want only one kind of date. You can get multiple. That's right. The cheese doesn't stop. Yeah, this is getting me good.
Yeah.
Softer. Man, this one's got some tiny nuts. This date's got tiny nuts. I mean the pit. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. These are the kind that, like, when you eat, they melt in your mouth. Okay, once you're done pitting them, chop them up like so. Doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be super small. I would actually, cut them in half and then do them like this size. That's the other thing about my cooking is I don't really care too much about how fancy it looks as long as it tastes good. Now, that might sound sacrilegious. It's just, for me, I only have so much time. So I'm going to make it as pretty as I can make it, but generally speaking, it's just easier for me to just do what I can. All right. Oh God, those Brussels smell so good. We're gonna cut these drier dates. What kind of dates are these, Dre? Who knows what the dry dates are called? Who knows what the dry dates are called? Thori? Thori. Thori dates. You didn't know there were so many dates. There's all kinds of dates. Woo! And chopping dates is not very easy. And even though with this knife probably could use some sharpening. Oh hey, there's a pit. That was great for my knife. Speaking of needing to sharpen my knife. If you want to dull your knife quick, just try to chop some date pits. That'll be a good way to do that. Or what? Rosemary, yeah. All right. Make sure that I don't get that part in. And we are going in here. So, got a little bit of a sweeter Brussels this time. Something about having a little bit of sweet and savory, for me at least, is kind of what Thanksgiving's about. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But I've always felt like that's how we do Thanksgiving, is you kind of have a sweet and savory kind of note on all the flavors. Huh? That's the end of that can. Tidy up here. Okay. I mean, these are pretty good now already. You don't even need the dates to be in there for very long. Although the longer they're in there, the sweeter the recipe gets. Are you ready to take over, Dre? Check the rice. Water's evaporated. Forgot that one's hot. Could be a little bit chewier. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. The fried rice is going to be on this pan. I think this guy's pretty good. So what I'm going to do, today what I'm going to do is we're cooking all this food and then we're going to bring it over to my mom's house. So we're going to cook all this, then bring it over to my mom's house, or my sister's house actually. Sorry, Jen, it's your house, but we call it my mom's house because I think that's just default, right? This is already pretty much done, but the good news about Brussels sprouts is that it reheats really nicely. So we're gonna just put this off to the side and put a lid on it. Dre's gonna come over here and she's gonna be doing her cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake. That's what I'm. So for those of you that want to see how a pumpkin cheesecake is made by a chef, you can stay tuned and watch that, and then I'll come back and make a fried rice. That's how we're gonna get our live stream of cooking this duck, because by the end of this live stream, that duck's gonna come out of the oven, and hopefully the plan is to have a nice shot of a bird right here to finish off all the different things that we cooked, and we're gonna take that over to my mom and my sister. And thanks for spending Thanksgiving watching if you're staying tuned, and if you're just joining, we've got a pumpkin cheesecake coming up, we've got a rice pilaf, and we still have a duck coming out of the oven. If you want to watch the prep of the duck, the link will be in this YouTube channel. So I have this, last night I stayed up till 10 p.m. or 12 p.m. Around 10 o'clock we were filming the making of this duck. So I seasoned it, I got it all in there with, of course, the help of Dre, and we popped it in there we popped it in the fridge and we just took it out and we put it in. So that's the recap of everything. Now we have a fried rice that's going, and I'm gonna do a little changeover so you get to see my camera skills. All right, let's check this rice. I'd say it's still a little al dente.
Is there water in there still?
Yeah, there's still liquid. Ooh, that duck looks good. That duck looks good. We're looking good. I'm gonna wash this for you. Yeah. Huh? Sure. Well, at 45 minutes, I think the recipe calls actually for an hour after to do the first flip, and then 30 minutes after that. So, if I recall correctly, for those of you that are wondering when to flip your duck at an hour, because after an hour of being in the oven, that's when it'll be ready to be flipped. So that's when we're going to do it. I am dark on this, huh? Both of these.
Orange.
Set for a white girl, not for a brown guy. I did the lighting check on you, not me. That's one of the problems with that. Got to bump up the You can turn the dial. Well, I'll get it. So you're up, Tag. Do you want some help setting up? We're gonna do a changeover right now. What do you want to help setting up for your cheesecake? This whole thing is streaming. Live action. What would you like?
I think I just need to
You need just the room?
switch.
Okay. I think I'm going to turn that off. So the cool thing about cooking your duck, or cooking duck, the cool thing about cooking rice on the stovetop or like not with a rice cooker is that when you're cooking rice on the stovetop, you get to decide when it's done. I get it because until recently, I always used a rice cooker. And then I realized a rice cooker really only does one thing, cook rice. So it seemed kind of ridiculous to have a rice cooker because I could do it with a pot, and I'm rarely needing all four burners on this. But if you're a person that needs all four burners and you want to have a rice thing going, it's great. The ease of a rice cooker has not escaped me. It is still an amazingly easy invention. It just, I don't always need it, and I still have one, but I got understanding how to cook rice in a pot is, I think, just as important. All right, we're gonna let that steam soak through there, and then the rice will be done. And then we'll kind of do a mixture with the pecans. We got a mixture with the pecans. We got a mixture with onions, and then probably a little, oh, we have spinach in there, don't we? No, we don't have spinach anymore. This is called throwing it together. That's really what I am. I'm a throw it together chef. Yeah, Jen doesn't really like fennel. I should ask her. Jen, if you're watching right now, do you want fennel in your fried rice? Like, this is like ultimate. If I can stream something and she can text message me, or not text message, well, yeah, text message me afterwards and tell me that she's, that's what she wants. She's like, don't put fennel in my fried rice. That's what I'm looking for. My sister messaging me, don't put fennel in my fried rice. Okay, cheesecake. Sweet. We're gonna switch. Everybody welcome Dre. Hello. Chef Andrea Leffler in the house.
Yeah, pesto change.
She's gonna change and she's gonna make that cheesecake. For those of you that want to know, she has a online class that she teaches, and I film it that we're using this setup that we're using here. So you get to interact and you get to see a double camera live or a triple camera live stream. So you get kind of a cooking show vibe, but it's actually crafted to you. For those of you that are interested, AndreaLeffler.com.
Yes, that's true. Coming soon. Actually, don't really need a cutting board for cheesecake.
You want me to take that out?
Oh, my celery's caught in the drawer. Okay, this is gonna be interesting, like Harry said. Ooh. Little feedback. I have not made this recipe before. And I'm doing something really fun, which I do a lot. I'm combining two recipes together. So I'm taking the crust from one and the filling from another. First thing to do is prep our little pan. Yeah, this is a little bit winging it, but I think the key is don't get too stressed out. So this is all the prep that other people would do off camera, but you get to see it. So a little bit of parchment on here. Butter helps it stay in place. I don't know about you, but my pan sometimes leaks. Ooh. So this will help with that.
For those ASMR listeners.
Is this really loud?
That's not fitting.
This is not working very well. It's supposed to help it not leak instead of cause me trouble. There we go. Hopefully that's it.
Perfect. Look at that. That looks so good. Oh, and then she chops
Yeah,
it.
then I'm just gonna trim it. All right. Then give this guy a little more butter on top. Just gonna be honest, it's really hard to make a dessert without butter. Yes, it's possible to make a delicious vegan something, but it's harder to do, I think. So, because this is a gluten-free situation here, we are making the crust out of some nuts and an egg white. So
Mom is looking forward to the cheesecake.
ooh, all right. I'll try not to let you down.
You got my family watching. Hopefully your family's watching.
Oh, darn, I did this the wrong way. So we're just looking for the egg white, which means we don't want the yolk. So the yolk is going to stay in here. Actually, we can use this in the cheesecake part. I cannot believe how much cream cheese is in this cheesecake. This is definitely a treat. Okay, so this is going to be loud.
I got you.
All right, one other loud noise. Blitzing some almonds and hazelnuts for the crust. If you don't have a food processor, definitely a great one to have. I'm not much for kitchen gadgets, but this one I use a lot. like Carrie said, salty and sweet. Let's see.
What are you getting?
This is a little bit of, well, to be totally honest, here's how on the fly we are. I don't have any brown sugar, and I know this recipe calls for brown sugar, but what I do have is white sugar and molasses. So basically, unfortunately, the way that sugar is refined, even brown sugar, is white sugar with like a little bit of molasses added back to it. So this is blackstrap molasses, which is really potent. I was just coaching someone on using blackstrap molasses in their pecan pie. Actually, they said, "Oh my gosh, I don't have regular molasses," and the recipe says, "Do not use blackstrap." And I said, "Okay, well, use just a little bit of what they call for, because it's just really strong. It's like very dark." So this is for the crust. And I guess, you know, for those of you used to pies for holidays, I use the word crust pretty loosely here. This is kind of like a press-in crust. So the egg white is what's going to kind of bind it together. A lot of cheesecakes, I guess I'm remembering maybe a decade ago. When was cheesecake popular? And they use like graham crackers or ginger snaps.
Alexa, timer off.
As the crust, right? You crumble up those cookies. And let's see. Yeah, that is pretty sticky. After you do something like this enough, you know by looking at it whether it's going to work or not. And I was just thinking, is this sticky enough? I'm not sure it's going to work, but I think it is. Now, you don't have to deal with rolling the dough out. We just empty the whole thing in here, and voila, we're done. No, just kidding. We're gonna press this down evenly, and we want it to go up the sides a little bit too. And actually the thing that's handy for this is a measuring cup or some kind of something with a flat bottom, because we're just going to compress it, and then we want to push it up the sides a bit too. It's probably not going to go up all the way, and that's okay. We're gonna, the filling is going to come up over the edge of this, but that is fine. Right? That's pretty good. I'm impressed, right? Sometimes this is actually kind of a little bit indicative of both how Harry and I cook. We sometimes invite people over for dinner, right? We invited you over to this Thanksgiving Day in the kitchen, and some of these things we've never made before. And that's how you find out if they're any good. And also how good you are under pressure and whether you can do something with an audience. So now we make the filling. And I think that this has to, I'm going to give this a little bit more salt. This looks really pretty.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking forward. I think that this needs to go in the oven for a bit. Maybe not. Maybe just the other kind of crust. See, this is what happens. Let's toss this in there for like 10 minutes so it can set up.
So what is it that you just did? Give us a review.
I pulsed in the food processor 1 cup almonds, 1 cup of hazelnuts, actually, because that's what I had on hand. And I've added a little bit of molasses, some sugar to make brown sugar, a little bit of salt, and an egg white to create this kind of press-in crust. And now we're going to put this in the oven so that this can set up for a minute while we make the...
Can you put it in camera 3 for me? Yeah. Up, forward, down. Yeah, that's great. Look at that. Hold on, let me take a quick photo. Don't worry, guys. We're just taking a quick photo here. Hold on. How does it look? Ta-da! All right, go for it.
Full disclosure, I did make some pies, so it's not that I'm opposed to pies. I just had a special request for a cheesecake. So
That's for you, Jen.
that's for you, Jen. Actually, Harry, you like cheesecake too, don't you? All right. Let's see. Yeah, this uses a stand mixer, but I think I'm gonna say no to that. And I'm gonna use some mascarpone, which is kind of like a fancy cream cheese. It's French. It's sort of like a cross between sour cream and cream cheese. And I think well, you know, one of these recipes says to do the eggs first, and the other one says to do the cream cheese first. So
you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
I think that means you can't go wrong. That's what that one says to me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the eggs first. 4 eggs plus a yolk. I will say, I would recommend reading the recipe before you make it, because then you'll know what the heck is going on from start to finish, especially if you're going to be on camera.
Yeah, well, you're a pro, see.
But this is, yeah, I'm a pro. Exactly. Now we get to use that extra egg yolk here. This is where those biceps come in handy. If you haven't gotten your Thanksgiving workout. Okay, so what do we have? Mascarpone.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
What is mascarpone? Cream cheese?
It's like a fancy cream cheese.
What about
I think it's more smooth.
creme fraiche?
Yeah, creme fraiche is cultured cream.
So this is not as...
This is not as soft as creme fraiche. And then we're going to add the spices to this. And this is where you can sort of take some liberties, right? If you like ginger, do ginger. I think this is sort of not totally characteristic for me, but I think in the cabinet I have some pumpkin pie spice, so I feel like that's applicable here. Pumpkin pie spice. Just as warming spices, right? I think there's clove, allspice, cinnamon for sure. This is gonna be interesting now, you guys. I can tell. I think I wish I would have done this in reverse. We're gonna hold off on adding that for a second.
See that elbow grease?
Yeah, right? This is why you're supposed to do this with a stand mixer. You guys don't mind a lumpy cheesecake, do you? Right? This looks more like scrambled eggs than it does like cheesecake. Basically, cheesecake is like all the good kinds of fat. Cream cheese. Actually, I don't think there's any butter, but cream cheese and heavy cream too. Don't do camera 3 because this doesn't look good.
You're on camera 3 right now.
Let's put some vanilla in. This is how, okay, so to be totally honest, right, if you're doing this at home, you're like, oh, what?
That's vanilla?
Yeah.
It's a big ass jar of it. Wait, hold up.
Yo, this is how much vanilla I
Vanilla.
use.
This is how much vanilla Andrea uses. That's when you have that size.
God
of
damn.
Vanilla, I just want to say, when you have that size. When you have that size of vanilla, I gotta say, if you have this size right here, that means that you are a serious chef. Who has, my vanilla size is the tiny vanilla size. And I'm not trying to compare vanillas here. Just saying.
Mine's bigger. I'm taking a brief pause from mixing this because, to be totally honest, I'm a little intimidated. I think I did this in the wrong order. So if you're at home and you've done this, don't panic. Just add some spices so that it smells nice. I like a little extra nutmeg. I think there's nutmeg in pumpkin pie spice. Nutmeg! Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
And, oh darn, my measuring spoons are already wet. There should be more than one. I think they're both dirty. So I'm gonna do my best eyeball guess. 1 teaspoon.
And this is one you can eyeball because of what?
Well, because basically you've got 2 different recipes here, and some of them say cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, etc. Right? So you're deciding how much goes in there. But I do definitely want some extra. I'm gonna do ground ginger. So this is just a distraction while I figure out what's gonna happen with this. Also, it just smells nice, so that's calming. You could put some booze in here if you wanted to.
What kind of booze you want?
Is everyone gonna get on board with that? A little bit of booze?
They'll be fine with a little booze.
How about a little
Jen, you cool with a little
bourbon?
Booze? Have you tried bourbon vanilla? Is exactly what Jen just asked me.
Yeah.
How fortuitous.
You want to choose one from the bar? So, spices. Now, I think, actually, to be totally honest, one of the things that just happened here is that this cream cheese was not at room temperature. So it's a little hard. And the other thing we need in here is sugar. Oh, this one has...
Okay, I'm flying in something real quick.
Fly it in.
So, for those of you that really want to know
Bourbon
what
lesson.
to use, if you don't have bourbon, you don't necessarily need bourbon. I think with a vanilla or a like pumpkin cheesecake, the flavor that I would want, bourbon's good, but I think I would go with something that has a little bit of like vanilla-y flavors because you're already going vanilla. So here's the Run Zacapa 23-year-old bourbon, or not bourbon, rum. Run Zacapa 23-year-old Añejo rum, Grand Reserved. It's been aging for 23 years. This stuff is straight candy.
Let's smell it.
Yeah, you want to smell it?
Yeah. Ooh, that smells really good.
Woo! It smells like a party in a glass. We're gonna add that party to this.
Thank you. What do you think? Like a tablespoon?
Of that?
Yeah.
I think you should put a shot in.
One whole shot?
A shot is just an ounce. A true shot, not a man shot. No, we don't want man shots.
Right. Okay.
So we're gonna do a shot of that.
Okay, we're gonna mix this some first.
Oh, that looks a lot better.
It's coming together. Nothing like struggling and having people watch you struggle. Guys, this is real, okay?
That's what a live stream.
So, this is what a live stream is. But don't panic. You know, we can always take a break and have a cocktail and then come back to this. No, I think it's going to be okay. I think in retrospect, I should have added the cream cheese first.
It's cold.
It was a little cold, and mixed that up first to kind of soften it. And then, here we got a little spoon rest. And then added the eggs one at a time. Wouldn't that have been civilized? And this is, yeah, it's a little bit, it's cold. This is also why people use a mixer, so that they don't have to do the work.
Do you want to bring up the mixer?
No, it's okay.
I can bring up the mixer.
It's all right.
I think I should go get the mixer. Why did you want to do this?
I don't know, right? You like doing things the hard way, so do I. It's a test. Are you for real? Okay, now, you also might notice we haven't added any pumpkin. We gotta add the pumpkin and this. And Harry has to flip that bird.
I forgot that. Chime it in.
That's what the timer was.
That's what the timer is.
How's my crust look?
Your crust looks good.
Do you want to take that out?
You want to take it out?
Yeah.
So the bird does.
Great.
Look at that cheesecake.
Yeah,
crust.
that looks so yummy.
Let's see what the duck looks like. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Look at that bad boy. Boom! There's the duck. Where's
Smells
where's
really
my
good.
camera 3? Damn it. So, okay, there is what the duck looks like. Now, first thing we want to do actually, do we have a thermometer? So you stick your thermometer.
Well, we probably don't need to check it yet. You want to check it now?
I mean, I like to check just to see where the progress
See the
is.
progress? All right, check it.
So here's our thermometer right here, and we're at going up to already at 140. You see, that's the other reason why I like checking the thermometer early. Actually, this is at 150. This bitch is close. Damn, bird.
Squishy.
Still squishy, that's good.
Well, you could turn it down to 300.
Yeah,
Careful of that pan. It's gonna fall.
I see it. I see it. I'm gonna take this, put this in the oven.
So you just turn it over.
Just flip that chicken
Flip the script.
or duck.
Yeah.
And Andrea's back.
Oh, is it me again? We're making progress. What happened to my...
Oh, that's pretty.
How to wing it in the kitchen. Most often it involves keeping a sense of humor. What do you think? Advice for stressful times in the kitchen? I feel like sometimes Thanksgiving can be really stressful. 1.5 cups of this. I would say one of my tips is to keep people fed, right? If you're really hungry, probably not that happy. So have some snacks, which we did this morning. And you can totally have a good time without drinking, but it's also nice to have a little celebratory cocktail or a glass of sparkling, some wine, something festive, I think. I don't think we've talked about this yet, but I think, you know, it's pretty obvious at this point that Thanksgiving is, the history of Thanksgiving is
Bullshit.
not bullshit. It's tenuous, right? There's some stories that I think we've made up and some stories that we've covered up, and I think it's good to recognize that and to also reinvent maybe some of what this day is about. And I think in my family it was always about spending time together around the table or in the kitchen and being grateful for what you have, right? If you have some bounty, some food, if you have some family, some friends, then that's really a lovely thing. And I know this year is probably looking a lot different for you. It is for me too. And we're not gathering in big, huge groups. It's hard to feel like things are normal. It's hard to feel like we're having the celebrations that we want to have. And I think it's totally fine to be honest about that. But I hope we can all find something to be grateful for. Find some grace and patience for what's happening. Trying to find some grace and patience with this, and I think I might need some electrical help.
Okay.
Because it's a little mushy, but you know what I'm gonna try first? I am going to try an immersion blender, and I also need to add a tablespoon of this flour. But basically, we have successfully looked at 2 different recipes and done, well, something similar. So we've still got a few little lumps in here, despite my best efforts. So I'm gonna see if this immersion blender can help us. These are pretty handy too. I know I said I'm not one for gadgets, but there's no, not all of them.
Tell us really, how many gadgets do you got, Dre?
I have all of them. I have all of them. This was kitchen confessions, right? No, I mean, mostly when I cook, I just have a knife. I use a peeler sometimes. I use a paring knife. I use pots and pans. Sometimes I use a blender. Sometimes I use a food processor, and sometimes I use an immersion blender. Can you think of anything else?
Sous vide.
Sous vide, yes. You've been doing the sous vide. I'm going to blame that on you. I mean, I guess I would say whatever gets you excited, right? And whatever you have space for in your kitchen. I think if a gadget makes you want to cook more, I think that's fine. If you want one of those, what are they, like a little avocado scooper slicer, by all means, give it a go. If that makes you happy, I say, why not?
Oh, it's looking better.
It's looking better. Let's see what we can do over here. I don't think...
Can you do that over there? Oh, here, plug it in over here.
I don't know if that'll reach.
Yeah, pass to me. Pass to me.
This is not...
This can.
See this? Ooh.
All right, we're gonna get that overhead. This is gonna look good.
Lumps be gone. This is pretty thick for this. Doesn't like this very much. Progress.
That one definitely looks good. I like the look of that one a lot better.
Yep. All right. Great. Success. So there we go. Use the tools at your disposal. Don't panic. I will say the bummer of gadgets is that then you have to clean them.
Yeah, but that one you just attach.
Yes.
That gadget is particularly easy to clean. I recommend it still.
Pop. Okay, now we just pour this batter into, this is a lot of batter. How is this gonna fit all in there? The good news is if you have extra, you can just stick it into a ramekin. Butter a ramekin, and then you can make like a little individual cheesecake. Okay. Oh, we forgot this.
Aha! Don't forget the booze.
Don't forget the booze. I think that a shot is too much.
You do you. That's your dish, chef. You tell me. Ooh, that's about a shot. Peanut gallery. She's got the peanut gallery here.
That was not a shot. Anyone else making cocktails today? You're making rum? What should we make? What if we have extra time? Are you going to make a cocktail?
I will make a cocktail if we have extra time.
What is it going to be? I just want to taste the sugar.
Taste it again. That was it.
It's yummy. It's really good. It's not that sweet, actually. It's very pumpkin-y. All right, we're going in. Actually, you know what? Sorry, fake. I'm just gonna look at the recipe one more time to make sure that everything is in there. Vanilla, sugar. Oh, you know what? Good thing I read that. We didn't add any salt to this. I think a lot of people get confused about salt being in a sweet recipe, but the two are really complementary. Sometimes the reason a dish, excuse me, tastes too sweet is because really what it needs to balance it out is some salt. Just the way our taste buds work, right? If you can get flavors that are a bit more dynamic, that kind of hit on those different taste buds or on those different tasting notes, like if something is only acidic, you're not going to taste it as much, or you're not going to be able to tolerate it. It's not going to be as interesting or as delicious as if it's salty and vinegary, sweet and vinegary. So a little bit of salt is going to balance that out nicely. And now, here we go. How's that?
Great.
So this is going to come up over the edge, or should we just leave it like that? Kind of looks pretty. And cook this separately. What do you think?
Looks good.
I was also thinking too that this looks like so much that it might take a super long time to cook, because cheesecakes you have to cook pretty slowly. Just play with the swirl for a minute. It's very relaxing. How's that? That's pretty good. Voila.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oven?
Going in the oven.
What temperature does it need to go in the oven?
This needs to go in at 300.
Okay, so we gotta turn the oven down.
Yes. We need to turn it down.
Turn down?
Let me look. No.
I bet you have to.
You think it's done?
Yeah.
An hour and a half?
The one thing I will
What,
say
the
about
duck?
duck is that it does become ready really quick sometimes. They say it needs 2 hours, but
They say it needs 2.5 hours. Ooh, it's spitting fat.
it's spitting fat.
Get another.
But it's only a 5-pounder too.
Oh,
Oh yeah, look at that.
look at that butt.
Did you change that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go for that,
behind,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna cambio.
Oh wow, yeah.
Now it smells like duck fat. So if you do finish your duck early, like I did right here, one of the tricks that I learned over the years is if you want your skin crispy, you turn it back around, and then you do a little broil on the skin to get a little crunchy skin if it ends up being
Woo!
early. Ooh.
Fat. You okay?
I just grabbed the side for no reason.
Oh gosh.
It's okay. This is one of the things about having rock climber hands is that you have really thick calluses. I bet you that's done. So,
We also didn't make the glaze.
huh?
The glaze.
Yeah, I didn't make the glaze. I didn't make the glaze. Shoot. Well, you don't have to make the glaze.
True.
It doesn't taste as juicy. What's in the glaze? I forget.
Orange juice, allspice.
But it's already too late. The glaze is for while it's in the oven, you glaze it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Even if you forget the glaze, I bet you this will still be good. It's still good.
We can make some chutney to go with it.
Doing too many things. This is what happens when you're doing too many things. Okay, so let's poke this bad boy and see what the temp's at. Where's my previous poke hole? Camera 3. Be careful that you don't hit the bone when you do these. Huh, now it says 120. How funny is that?
Yeah, I don't think it's ready yet.
I don't think it's ready yet either.
You maybe poked it into the cavity, so you got a steam temperature.
Maybe. Maybe, very possible. But we backed it down to 300.
Right.
So,
I would see if you can hold on to the duck in the pan and pour some of that fat off. That's
okay.
what's smoking. Into the frying pan next to it or something. You want a hand?
no, I got it. Oh, yeah. That's how you make duck confit later. Oh, yeah. That's going to be good. All right. Is the pumpkin cheesecake ready to roll?
Meaning what?
I mean, like, is it, I mean, you're good with the pumpkin cheese. So it's actually, we just need a switch now.
It's in the oven.
It's in the oven, so you're good.
Yep.
Got it. Turn your mic off. Mic number 2 off. Not 1, 2. Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I didn't
Like most recipes, we're gonna start it off with caramelizing some onions. So I need some onions flown in. So for my fried rice recipe, pretty easy fried rice recipe. It's like not really fried rice, but it's like rice salad, right? So I'm gonna make all the things. I'm gonna make all the things and then throw it in. So. Onion. So making a dressing to toss the rice in, huh?
No, like stuffing or dressing. That's like the southern thing. Dressing is like the side. It's weird.
That's why Asian people do fried rice, okay?
You can call it fried rice.
Because we make whatever that other thing is, and then, I mean, what might end up happening is I might just end up making fried rice, but we'll see. We do what we know. Get that dice going. Not a bad dice. I feel like with this, all we need is half of one. What do you think, Trey? So my mom's vegetarian, so obviously everything but the duck is vegetarian. So we're gonna make. We could use ghee. We'll do a little coconut for that, and then I'll use some ghee. She can also do butter too. So I'm just saying, normally I would use bacon fat, but not today. We're gonna some pecans. We're gonna put this. We're gonna put. Should we do a pomegranate? We got raisins. My mom's gonna eat this rice, and I know what she's gonna say. She's gonna say, 这个炒饭有一点怪怪, which basically translates to, this fried rice is a little weird. And that's what my mom's gonna say. 这个炒饭有一点怪怪. Yeah, this fried rice is a little weird. Mom, you're gonna get sweet fried rice. My mom's watching at home, hopefully. I hope she's watching me and not her Chinese super dramas over there. Super drama. 30 episodes. I don't even understand how Chinese people get 30 episodes. My God. We sit here and complain about a show having too short of a season. Man, their seasons are 30 episodes. Woo! That is some stuff. Okay. One of my favorite things to use, but also not a great thing to use on camera, is our splash guard, because it blocks one of my cameras. But that's gonna be okay because camera 3 looks nice. This is kind of like what I like to call an insta-walk. So if you throw that up, we're gonna want our onions to caramelize again, so we're just gonna do that. Where's that raisin? Didn't you say raisin?
Big bag.
Uh-huh, the giant bag that says raisins, right. You mean the giant bag that says raisins? Oh, okay. So we're gonna go onions, rice, egg. Should we do egg? You don't want egg.
Yeah, go for it.
What? Onions, rice, egg, raisins, and pecans. How does that sound? Mushroom. Do we have mushroom? Huh? We do. All right. Oh, carrots would be great too. Cool. Jen, are you cool with that fennel? See, this is how you get your family to watch your stuff. You ask them questions. Oh, ginger would be good on this too. A little ginger. So I would put the carrots in next just because, look at the giant size of this carrot. Look at that. That thing is huge. Look at this. Camera 2. Look at the size of this thing. Whoa, this carrot is huge. That was an organic carrot at Whole Foods. I don't know what they're smoking. And I'm gonna go with little chunks on these guys because the carrot is so huge. So I'll just kind of cut this like this, and then do these little pieces, kind of like that. So you kind of do a almost julienne, and then just thinking about what's nice on the texture of what I want for this fried rice. Right, if it's that size. An apple would be good too. But I would put the apple in. Actually, you can put the apple in first. Hit the start button. Turn that heat down. I started it up a high because I want to get the cast iron takes a second to heat up, and I'm impatient. But ultimately what that does is it makes it so that sometimes I either burn the onions or the whole pan gets too hot. So I'm looking at this, and I think I only need 1 carrot because this carrot is so huge. If you have a bigger carrot, I would use a bigger. If you have a smaller carrot, I'd use 2 pieces. But because we got this super carrot here, this is one of them super carrots. Cool. I'm gonna get that. Pop this in. Camera 3. Cool. Take that, put this in. While the carrot's going, we got some of the. So do a little clean off.
What are you making?
I'm gonna actually just chop these pecans for this rice pilaf, a non-fried rice. So we're just gonna chop these, just do a rough chop of these pecans, because you don't want the big ass chunk. When the chunk is too huge, it's no good. Oh yeah. I kind of like brushed off the cutting board. Normally, if I like really wanted to keep this, I would keep the pecans dry, but because they're just gonna go right into this wet thing, I'm just gonna pop them in. It's gonna be all good. While this is going, you want to not forget to look at what you're cooking, right? So I'm gonna look at this, and I'm staring at it, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I need to turn it. Oh, just enough. These onions are brown. Some brown onions. Perfect. Get these carrots nice and soft. Think we need all of these pecans? Might as well. Get this pilaf extra nutty. Get it called a nut log.
Oh, your mom wants corn.
My mom wants corn. Well, that was told way too late, Jen. I don't have corn or peas. Mom, you are getting. We have peas? Well, can't hurt putting peas in there. The frozen kind? That's the kind that Asians love for their thing, are the frozen kind. You guys are literally watching my sister navigate me on how to cook Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, sorry, I've been neglecting my duties. Jen says your mom's watching her super dramas as well.
Oh.
Why? What's that?
That was weird.
Yeah.
Where's that apple?
How much fennel?
Depends on how much fennel is what she said. I don't know if peas are going to go well with this combo. It's too late, Jen. Tell Mom we are going to have just a sweet fried rice. Hopefully she likes it. I feel like she liked it last time I made it for her. The Thanksgiving one is always a little bit on the sweet and savory side. I feel like that's the theme of Thanksgiving, is do the sweet and savory style cooking.
My mom's watching.
Hi, Stephanie. Don't worry, we might put some maple syrup in this. Food 52. I will be putting, hopefully I'll have the time and remember to put these links on. Food 52 has this splash guard, and what I like about it is that it turns it into like an Insta wok. You know, it's not quite wokky because like it doesn't, the edges are silicone, so it's not that hot, Well, what I really like about it is that it's a splash guard, but it also seconds as like if you need to make whatever you're making have more room, that's what that happens. That's what happens. Not that's what that happens. That's what happens. What's up?
Can you put this in the back? We're doing a California raisin commercial here.
Oh, got it. You know what I didn't do? Salt. Put a little salt on this bad boy. That'll help it cook. Throw those, no. Throw a little raisin in. Really? They're pretty small. What do you guys think? Chop or no chop? I feel like that's good enough to just go in there. So I'm going to put just a handful of raisins in here. I don't really like my raisins to be too raisiny. I mean, I don't really like my rice to be too raisiny, is what I'm trying to say. So now, I'm gonna pop this in. And I'm gonna do a top up of oil in this pan. Throw a little butter up in this bad boy. You got a good camera 2 shot here? No, you don't. Sleeping at the wheel here.
I'm doing a few things.
Good. So I'm gonna put half a stick of butter, and I know that sounds like a lot.
Good Lord!
But it'll mix really well with this. All right. We're not gonna put egg in. It looks pretty full like this. I'm into this already. Pretty much after this, after I have all this is serious, throw it together. This style is the serious throw it together, okay? It doesn't get more throw it together than this style. I'm throwing this together. I'm literally taking this kind of, I want a sweet-ish kind of rice dish, and I want it feeling like holiday, and I happen to have some pecans, I happen to have an apple, some carrots. This this looks like a Thanksgiving item. Just look at the colors of this right now. This matches my shirt. Camera 1. Boom. Camera 2 or camera 3. Camera 1. Yeah. How crazy is that? It matches my shirt. That's how you know it's festive. And I'm sweating because this thing is hot.
Your mom says she's not going to eat it without corn.
Mom,
Picky.
I would have put bacon in this. If you're gonna eat it, just try it, Mom. This is what it's like with me and my mom. All right, check me some herbs.
Yeah, what do you want?
Rosemary?
Or thyme?
Thyme? I think I like rosemary. I don't know about thyme. What do you think? You think thyme?
Okay. It's pretty strong.
The rosemary or the thyme?
Yeah, so you're running back.
Yeah, I was just gonna do one of these. Just a little of that. Give it a little chop. So that was just one little strand of rosemary. Boom. Oh, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Looks quite pretty. Mom says she's not going to have it if I don't have corn. Mom, I hope you're joking. I mean, we can put some pomegranates in here too.
Maybe on the top after.
Yeah, top afterwards. So I'm just going to let this, so I'm just going to let this kind of do its thing now. Just kind of let it kind of brown a little bit more. That way all the sugars are going. And once that's going, then I'm going to put the rice in and mix it in this with the rice, which I think ultimately will taste awesome. So it's not your traditional fried rice, right? It's this style of rice is more of a Thanksgiving rice. I mean, I ain't got no other way of saying it other than Thanksgiving rice. That's what this is. Do we want an egg? No? I got 86 on the egg. Option egg if you want to do it. If you're following this recipe at home and you want to do this, option is egg. All right. Sweet. I'm just going to add some rice into this. Let me see what this... Well, currently I only got a piece of...
Did you do ginger?
I didn't do the ginger yet. I'll put the ginger in now. Cool. Now with the ginger, I don't really love... I'm just going to put a little bit of it. I don't really love the skin of the ginger, so I just kind of cut around it when I do that. So here's that. But if you get a little piece of skin, you're not going to die. You're going to be fine. What time is it? 2? 2:15. That duck should be getting close. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. So 2.5 hours would have been at 3, because we started a little late. How does that look, guys? Do I have a consensus? How do y'all think this looks? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Anyone in the comment section, shoot me a message. Let me know what you think of this. Can I go on? Shoot me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know how this looks to you. If this looks weird, like I'm gonna add rice to this and it's gonna be good. I might add a little bit of maple syrup. Ooh. That doesn't say Thanksgiving. Ooh, it smells so good. It's hot in this kitchen. All right. How we thinking? How we looking? You want to check your cheesecake? Did you set a timer for your cheesecake?
Nope.
Looks good. I'm gonna need to broil the skin of that duck to get that crunchy skin. That probably needs to happen soonish. Let me check the temp of this duck. Let me check the temperature of the duck here. Ooh. Ooh-wee, look at that bad boy. Mm-hmm. We can always do the last step of this at my mom's.
Broil it?
Yeah. Or at Jen's. What the hell did I do with my thermometer? This is what happens, Harry. You forget your phone. Where did that thermometer go? There's no way. It has to be here. Why is this one not turning on? That's the other question. Okay. Mom wants eggs. We're going to add eggs. Only if you eat it, Mom.
Looks, EJ says, looks good, a little different than traditional fried rice. I bet it would be bomb. Mom is just kidding. Yes, eggs. Eggs make the taste better.
Is this leftover egg?
No, that's not. Okay, I'm going to run down and get my thermometer.
Okay. Where is this thermometer? Right when Andrea leaves is when I'm going to find it. Watch, guys. It's like I got one that just doesn't work. Come on. Don't lose this one.
Don't lose it.
Let's see here. Let's poke right. Oh, let's do thigh.
Like here. Yeah.
All right, what does this say? Wow, this one only says 130.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This guy's going back in the oven. Gonna make some eggs to put in the rice because my mom said it makes it taste better. Look at that, navigating me from her bed right now. Put egg in, tastes better. All right.
And remember when you and Mom made the
Bo ba ya.
Bo
Yeah.
ba ya? What
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah, I know. It's the rice, sticky rice inside the duck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think that's when you use xanthan gum and or xylitol. I thought it was sugar, and it's like 4 times as sweet.
There's only 2 eggs. Is this ours too? No, we add eggs. You said we had a whole dozen. Is it not this one?
They're downstairs. Just use them.
Well, I need more than one.
How many eggs do you need?
5? Because fried rice is 5 eggs when you make this size of one. Hope you all are enjoying this. I like a cross between what my mom does or a Chinese person does. A cross between Chinese style egg making and Western. I don't do a whisk. I do, oh, that was a terrible one. Chopsticks. I don't do chopsticks. I do a fork because I'm an ABC and that's what we do. We take the things that we know our moms told us to do, like beat your eggs with a chopstick. No, I'm using a fork, Mom. This is the way I do it. Not a whisk though, because why waste a whisk? Your fork has the aeration that you need. So hit that, you know how the far right has 3 buttons? Hit the middle button. Yeah, now hit camera 2. Camera 3. That's what the cross dissolve is. And then when you want to go back to cut, hit cut again. On the left, yeah. And now you can go back. All right. So, now that we have this done, now we're going to do the egg in a new pan. Now, this is dirtying a whole other pan, but this is how I like to make eggs. Like, a lot of times when you make eggs, what ends up happening when you make the eggs is everybody says, or like at least the way my mom does it, you take everything out of that pan and then, yeah, go ahead, one. You take everything out of the pan and then you cook the eggs in and then you throw everything back in the pan with the eggs and you kind of scramble it before you mix the eggs in. That's the style that my mom taught me many years ago. I've since created a different style, which is to waste another pan, but then you get to keep everything in that other pan and dump the already cooked egg into the mix. That's my personal secret if you have 2 pans.
More butter?
More butter. I need a more butter sound. More butter. Yep, more butter. Almost done with my side of things, getting the fried rice done. The Brussels sprouts are still looking good. Let's actually hold it up for you guys to see. Brussels sprouts, ba-na-na-na. Look at that. That's what the Brussels sprouts look like, right? A little bit like mushy. Not my favorite to have it this mushy, but my mom likes that. And then we're gonna get this rice pilaf / fried rice kind of thing going. I told Andrea when we started this, I'm not gonna end up making a pilaf. I'm gonna say it's a pilaf and then it's gonna turn into a fried rice because that's what I'm used to. That's the truth. It's turning into fried rice. And here we are, turning this into fried rice. You want that butter to melt? I mean, part of the reason too why I like using butter is because when I use butter for the eggs, it doesn't stick to the pan. No matter what pan you use, you gotta use butter for it because then it doesn't stick to the pan. If you use, it's not to say that you can't use olive oil or something along those lines, but I find that butter does a better job of unsticking stuff to a pan. Do you agree with that, Chef? Wow. Her least favorite response.
Yeah.
So she gets that.
I think it has more to do with the pan than butter.
So one of the things that I like to do with my egg when I'm cooking eggs, I like to make sure that the egg doesn't, you want to actually brown the egg. So don't move it around too much. A lot of times people that make scrambled eggs, one of the things I see is that their eggs aren't fluffy and they're like, oh, can you hit me on one? Yeah. They're like, oh, why are the eggs not fluffy? It's not because you didn't add milk, okay? Milk does help to make your eggs fluffy. That is true. Or cream, or oat milk, or what, you can do that. But one of the main things that you can do to make your eggs fluffy is to not agitate them so early. What ends up happening when you agitate your eggs when you're making a scrambled egg or something along these lines, these types of eggs, you start creating these weird texture in the egg because you're moving it too much. In reality, now that I see that this egg, see how I'm barely peeling that back now. And now the texture of that egg is so much better. You can tell that texture, and I just basically just slowly break that. And that's gonna really allow all of the part that is watery to come back down, and the part that is already cooked to just separate. Because really all I'm trying to do is make these eggs feel like real eggs. And part of that trick is to do this exact thing. I see too many people, ever see somebody cook in front of you and they're cooking their eggs and you're like, don't cook your eggs that way. What are you doing? Don't cook your eggs that way. I'll definitely be that guy when I see someone cooking eggs and I'm like, oh, don't mix it so much. Just don't touch it as much. Just give it a fold. It turns out to be so much fluffier when you fold your eggs like this. Like it's almost ready to be put into the other pan. Right? Just like that. See how you have these folds right here in this. So you have it and it looks so much better as far as an egg consistency, and the fluffiness of it is there too. Right? Now, almost there, we've got a little bit of a... Now, I'm gonna pull this pan over and then take this over here. And as I pop my eggs back in, so you can mix the two of those together. Now your eggs are coming in here. Normally what my mom would say, and what she's saying right now, is you should have put the rice in first and the egg in last. I can hear her voice in my head. You can do that. I'm putting the rice in now. And am I going to use the whole thing? Pretty close. That's probably good. So, yes, I understand this is not a traditional fried rice. This is a Thanksgiving fried rice, but look at what it's going to do at the top of that. We were originally going to do a wild rice to really make it look more Thanksgiving-y. I am by no way trying to do a traditional fried rice. Alexa, timer off. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
I am by no way trying to make a fried rice. I'm trying to make a Thanksgiving, like a traditional Chinese fried rice. No, I'm trying to do a Thanksgiving rice. Thanksgiving fried rice means it's sweet. It looks like my shirt. And we're even using basmati rice, which is an Indian rice. So I'm breaking all the rice rules on this fried rice, but I think it'll be delicious. How does it look? What do you guys think?
Yum. Your mom's ears perked up when you mentioned Brussels sprouts.
Yes, I got Brussels sprouts with dates, Mom.
Everything's sweet.
Everything's got a little sweetness to it. The duck has an orange theme to an orange zest to it, so that'll sweeten it up a bit. The fried rice have raisins and pecans in it. I think I'm gonna have to put a little soy sauce in here, but we have coconut aminos, which is not in here. Camera one's out. Oh. Okay. Doing good. Coconut aminos, for those of you that are gluten-free. Is that camera 2? You need to pay attention. So coconut aminos, for those of you that are gluten-free, this is a really great one. It's the coconut version of soy sauce, so it doesn't even have soy in it. And I am, dare I say it, an Asian person that is anti-soy. All these motherfuckers out there, all those guys out there that are haters of soy, like me, understand that soy is not, like, we did not have so much soy up until recently. This is like, we have over-soyed the planet because y'all think this is the best thing for you. Soy is not that good for you. That is a lie. Soy is a cover crop that in time of famine, Asian cultures started to eat, which is a really interesting element about soy. You know, when you're thinking about that, time of famine, we were like, oh, we have nothing to eat. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna eat? Well, what can you eat? Oh, you can eat the soy. So we started creating tofu like that. Now, anyone want to combat me, feel free to chime in on that specific thing. Don't tell me that your family has been eating soy for millennia, because that's just not true. I think soy might be maybe 1,000 years, relatively recent. Let's see what this tastes like. That did it. That's good. All right. Little holiday style. A little more of this soy sauce. Trying to think what else do I want to put in here. Oh, we're going to top it off with the persimmons. The pomegranate, rather. Okay. Cool. How does that look?
Yummy.
That's done. This is done, and then I will check on the duck. You want to check on your switch? Yep.
Can I try?
Yep. You may.
This is a lot. I didn't realize how much was in here.
And I didn't even use all the thing.
We made extra. That's good.
How's your pie?
Definitely not done yet. Is it cocktail hour?
Sure. Okay, I'll switch with you.
Thanks.
What kind of cocktail you want?
I don't know, something on the bitter side.
Okay. You want to help me get that cleaned up while I get the bar set up for camera?
Oh, are you going to switch to the canvas?
No, I'm just going to pop the...
Scene change. But then I think we're almost done here.
You're correct. We are almost done. Oh, we don't have any vermouth.
Oh no. Oh no. We have. Oh no, we have Amaro downstairs. Or do you want to just finish with the duck?
Olivia is FaceTiming. Hello.
Oh, hey. What's up, bitches?
Hi.
Hi. What's going on?
What's going on?
I'm just moving into cooking. I'm so late. It's stupid, but I had an important conversation. Hi.
Hi. Everything okay?
Hi.
This is our setup.
Work through something.
Got it. This is our setup.
How's your goose? Good.
Is it in the oven?
Yeah. Ours is in the oven. Let's
Shit,
see.
yeah, I'm super late. Oh my god.
It's gonna be pumpkin cheesecake flavored duck and duck flavored pumpkin cheesecake.
Nice.
Hope everyone likes that.
Thanksgiving in style.
Exactly. Yeah. How's... Oh, let's see. Nice.
Here she is.
Yum.
Yeah, I'm just starting. Yeah, and I have this fucking liver here.
Wow, yeah, you do.
I'm just gonna put that in here.
In your stock.
In the broth.
Yeah, you can, or you can save it to like make pate out of or something. Yeah. Who says, yeah. Is someone helping you? It is. Is someone helping you with the rest of the meal?
Yeah, I'm just doing that. Yeah, they're reminded of the other things. I should have just left for several things.
Oh, got it. Oh, yay. That's good. Dishes. Multitasking.
We're gonna get set up for a cocktail here.
What?
Harry's getting set up to make a cocktail. Oh, good. Just having your little tiny Thanksgiving. His mom and sister as well. Yeah. Is it just your house?
All right, chicos. We are going to make
So all of Harry's sisters, yeah. Really?
All right, guys. So we're gonna make a chinar. This is called a scorched earth. This is called a scorched earth. We're gonna build this in the cocktail glass. Here we go. 2 glasses.
I do.
So, let's see if we need this on tight here. For those of you that need a Christmas cocktail, this is a good one for you. It's called a scorched earth.
Are you going to be around in 15 minutes? Olivia?
1 ounce of zucca.
Can I call you back in 15 minutes? Okay. Everything's going on. How long is that with you though? Okay.
1 ounce of mezcal, and we're gonna build this in the glass. So 1 ounce of zucca, 1 ounce of mezcal. Ooh. And 1 ounce of Campari. Barely enough Campari. Now, the recipe calls for a dash of orange bitters. But since I don't have orange bitters, I'm just going to use Angostura bitters. Little touch. There it is. Boom. If you don't have alcohol on hand, like we do, although we barely had enough to make this cocktail, any vermouth would do with this particular blend. So you do a vermouth, a bitter, and a mezcal for this one. It's similar to a mezcal Negroni, but this one's called a scorched earth. Pop those in. And then you take your stir. I feel like Thanksgiving time means it's time to drink too. So you do got to do a little bit of drinking during Thanksgiving. Let loose. Now the garnish for this guy is an orange peel. So I like these style cocktails because you have like something that's a little bitter and then something that's a little bit on the sweet side. And then you have something that's that spirit heavy cocktail. Ooh, that is good. You wanted bitter? That gave it to you, bitter. I deliver. Do you want bitter? I deliver to you, bitter. What I don't have is a peeler.
So tidy.
So get that peel. Flip it. Give it a little pinch. No burning necessary for this one.
Scorched earth.
Yeah. And I like a double garnish. So, in the event of a extra festive, we got this guy right here. You want cherries, maraschino cherries. There is no maraschino cherry that is better than that maraschino cherry. This is the Luxardo maraschino cherry, and it is so good. It is definitely the one when you're looking at making a cocktail. If you got a pack of these are expensive. They're like $20 a jar, which is the bummer about that. You find this for 50% off, you get that because that is going to be good. And then you take that maraschino cherry, pop that in. One. I try to get it to stay on top, but because it's a garnish, like that one will stay on top. That's what you want. This part, this spoon right here, don't forget to take a little sip of that. Yep. And voila. Scorched earth for you. And let's do a hero shot. I'm gonna put it right in front of this right here. Can you put that? Oh, you want to cheers me? You're not gonna be able to cheers on camera. There's no way you're gonna be able to cheers on camera. There it is. Cheers, guys.
Bitter.
Woo! Yum. Needed a little more Campari. Okay, that duck. Let's take a look. That's what we're here for. Once we finish this duck, we're going to end the broadcast because it's all about the duck. Your cheesecake's looking good too. Boom. Camera 3.
Your mom wants to know if we're almost there.
Yep, almost there. Say, when she stops seeing me on camera, we're almost there. Okay, we're almost at 155. Are we at 160 yet?
That's the breast too.
That's the breast too. This is breast is at 160. Yep, we're here. Duck is done. Boom. How fortuitous. We made our cocktail. We made our duck. Let's take a look at all of our spoils of what we have made today. Let's do a little quick little show and tell. I'm gonna take this thing off. All right. Take a look, guys. Here is Thanksgiving dinner. We got a pie that's about to come out of the oven. Actually, that's the last thing we need to put on this presentation is to show the pie.
Cheesecake.
Or cheesecake, excuse me. I think of pumpkin, I automatically say pie. But what I'm trying to say is cheesecake. So, we got this duck. Which I'm going to put, actually, I'm going to put the duck in front. Our duck. Our rice. And a spot for the pie right here. I know, when it's done. You want to take a look?
Let's see. Good. Still needs a little more time.
Okay, we'll end it here.
Yeah, I think we're good. Want to come do a cheers on camera?
Wait, hold on, let me.
We can move this a little bit so you can see it.
All right, guys.
Where's my drink? Oh,
Happy Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving.
You got the duck, we got the Brussels sprouts, we got the fried rice. The Thanksgiving fried rice. Very special recipe thrown together. The cheesecake, well, can we take it? Can we show them what the cheesecake
Yeah.
looks like? Cheesecake's almost done. We're gonna wrap it up because we gotta take this food out. Really appreciate all of you that have stuck it through and watched this live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have some more live streams that I'd like to do, which is why I have all this gear, but I really want to do something festive for Thanksgiving. Here's the cheesecake. If you notice, it had a little jiggle.
Yeah, it's still
Had a little
jiggly.
jiggle. So it's all on that. How you know your cheesecake is done is when it's out of the jiggle.
Yeah, it just needs a little bit more time.
We're gonna do a cheers and say goodbye. Cheers. Hope you guys had
Cheers.
fun. We had fun with you. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Good job, chef.
Good job.
Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a bountiful feast and some lovely people to share it with.
Good hanging out with you guys.